The Secretary General just concluded his meeting with the permanent representative of Venezuela, Ambassador Samuel Moncada. During the meeting, the Secretary General reiterated his publicly stated position on the U.S. military action in Venezuela. The Secretary General also expressed the availability of his good offices to support a possible inclusive national dialogue in Venezuela.
I believe it's been reported that the U.S. seized 2 oil tankers while during the meeting between, I think, the Secretary General and the Venezuelan ambassador. Does the UN have anything to say on the latest development?
Yes, we're of course aware of the situation. At this stage, we do not have sufficient information to say anything further to what our stated position is on these issues, which is that all law enforcement actions on the oceans and seas are to be taken in accordance with applicable international law in order to ensure maritime safety and security on the high seas. And we would want to see avoidance of any further escalation.
In a relative issue, the White House also claimed that they're going to manage and control the oil production of Venezuela. As far as I understand, there's a GA resolution suggesting or decides that the natural resource there's permanent sovereignty over natural resource of one nation. So what is the reaction of the Secretary General?
It's not so much a reaction as what our position has been throughout, whether it's Venezuela or other countries where this issue has risen. The oil in Venezuela belongs to the Venezuelan people, just as the oil in Syria belongs to the Syrian people, and the natural resources of any country belong to the people of that country.
But the President Trump and Secretary Marco Rubio also claim that it's for Venezuelans' own benefit. I mean, does that make any sense?
No. I will leave it to journalists to make sense of what's going on in this world.
Regarding the SG, you said that he reiterated his public position, which is well known about Venezuela. But that, I believe you said he offered his good office. The SG offered his good offices to support an inclusive dialogue in Venezuela. Can you expand on that?
Well, I mean, as we know, there have been what word should we use? Issues, tensions between the government and the opposition, and the Secretary General is offering his good offices to help a national dialogue in Venezuela.
Is he so he's in touch with the opposition?
Your microphone's not on.
You know, it's lit.
Okay, no, go ahead now.
Okay. Is he actually in touch with opposition?
Other people have been in constant touch with the opposition. This was an offer to the government. Let's see where things go.
And one of the question is, numerous countries, not just the United States, but Europe and others, believe that the Maduro regime is an illegitimate regime that did not allow a peaceful transition of power. Does the SG have a view about that?
I think we've been very clear on our concern on the elections, right? Secretary General sent independent experts. From this podium, we called for greater transparency in the publication of the results. So I think our position stands and is not modified in any way. The Secretariat is not in the business of deciding who is legitimate and not legitimate. There is a Venezuelan delegation to the UN. Like any other delegation, I'm not aware of any challenges to its credentials. The issues you raised are bilateral issues between countries.
Steph, can you share more details on the meeting that the Secretary General had with the Venezuelan ambassador? How long was it? Where did it happen? And was there a request on the part of the Venezuelan ambassador for the Secretary General to call for the release of Maduro and his wife?
In terms of what the Venezuelan delegation said, I don't speak for them. You should speak to them. The meeting took place on the 38th floor, lasted about 45 minutes, I think.
Have Russia or the U.S. raised the oil tanker issue with the United Nations?
I mean, not that I know in the last 2 hours.
Thanks.
Okay, Dulcie.
Yeah, did the Venezuelan ambassador ask the Secretary General about the full diplomatic immunity as a sitting head of state request that he mentioned in the Security Council meeting?
I'm not aware that that was raised, but you should ask the Venezuelan mission.
Obviously, given Israel's decision to suspend 24 humanitarian organizations, including Doctors Without Borders, besides the SG statement, is there any behind-the-scenes backdoor efforts to get Israel to reverse on that decision, given what's
there are
happening?
constant contacts between our colleagues in Jerusalem, notably our political and humanitarian colleagues, and the Israeli authorities, and try to make it easier for us to deliver humanitarian aid.
Yeah, delayed follow-up. So we will ask the Venezuelan mission what they said. What did the Secretary General tell the Venezuelan ambassador in that meeting?
I kind of read out what I was able to share with you. So I understand your legitimate need and request to get more information, but what I shared with you is what I'm able to share with you.
Now Secretary Rubio says that that the United States will buy Greenland from Denmark instead of using military means. Is that better?
It's a very good question, Iftikhar, and a very good phrasing. What I will just repeat is our belief in the territorial integrity of all member states, including Denmark and including all its provinces, and I will leave it at that.